Hello, welcome to Gaytkeeping, where we take a deep dive into a pop culture phenomenon and decide if we let it through our gate. We're reporting live from Arkham Asylum today, ladies and gentlemen, for the Joker and Harley Quinn show.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Shh.
Guys, I actually had to learn how to unlearn how to sing for this podcast today.
Really?
Yeah.
You must have had those lessons a while ago. How long have you been preparing for this?
I've been in character, deep in my, Stella Adler,
Yes.
Circle in the Square, training that I'm an actress, you see, so I'm really invested in this character of Lee that I'm playing.
Lee.
Yes. She's a little bit different. She's in
Twisted.
Twisted.
From the twisted mind of James Howe. Oh. Todd Phillips.
Please refer to me as J.Howe.
What?
L.Gaga.
What's that?
You remember in Venice at A Star Is Born when they had the press conference and it was like B. Cooper, L. Gaga.
Yep.
Yeah.
You assume that I know so much more about Lady Gaga. like the other day when you're like, you don't know the performance of her singing from The Sound of Music and the Oscars. It's a pivotal moment in her career. I'm like, no, I don't.
Everyone knows that.
I don't
Gatekeepers sound off in the comments.
I don't think everyone does
That goes
know
around Twitter like every once in a while.
Not my Twitter.
Wow.
Certainly
You're not on Little Monsters Twitter?
Absolutely not.
Well, I'm the one wearing my Lady Gaga jazz and piano t-shirt today for the fabulous occasion that we're here to discuss, which is
Folie à deux.
Folie à deux.
But damn, my French was randomly really good just then.
Wow.
Bonjour, Folie à deux.
You have folie à une. Multiple folie à une. I think that would just be called Folie.
This is a French film?
Well, in the sense that there's a scene that's directly ripped from the Umbrellas of Cherbourg.
Oh, is it?
That with the umbrellas, literally.
Oh.
When they go colourful.
Yeah.
Because it's in his mind. Oh, this movie was fucking dog shit. However.
Well, don't give it all away up top.
I know. I did have a fun time.
Well, yeah, you were screaming and hooting and hollering in that cinema.
Literally.
Not classy.
I was laughing. I was like the Joker.
I think everyone should, I've said this before, but you should sit in the cinema chair and not even move.
You don't move. I noticed
muscle.
that yesterday because you mentioned before when we went, you were like, I'm so tired, I can't wait to fall asleep in this. Or you were like, I'm going to
Did you think I was asleep?
Yeah, there was multiple moments where I like looked to you because you just sit, and I am like very aware that I'm like, I move a lot and I'm like,
it's not just the moving. It's like something happens, you're like, someone comes on screen. Or like pointing at the screen. Like
well, because I mean, obviously, because this is so like inspired by like musicals, and well, it's not inspired by musicals. It's trying to be one.
Certainly trying.
But it really just made me laugh, obviously, because I was like, oh, I felt like that guy who can like point out the places on the map. That's me. I'm like Sweet Charity reference. This
That's the real mental illness.
Literally.
That's who should be locked up in Arkham Asylum.
Take me away. I'm like, Lee.
I knew that you'd love this movie actually from the first frame because it opened with your favorite cartoon of Looney Tunes. You love Looney Tunes.
I love a Looney Tune. What can I say? I love him. I love Bugs Bunny. That character, he makes me laugh.
This is in reference to the time that you logged a Looney Tunes short on Letterboxd.
Because I played it before Amadeus.
I'm sorry, logging a Looney Tunes short? That's when you've gone too far.
You don't support the art of short film making. As a short filmmaker yourself, I thought you would be, supportive of the short films.
They can take my short films off of Letterboxd. I don't care. If that's the stand that I have to take.
Mr. Letterboxd, I've got 2 movies for you to remove.
Sink 'em. What was it called? Like Bugs Bunny goes to...
I don't know. The opera. I don't know.
Bugs Bunny goes to the opera.
It was funny as hell.
You're leaving a review. I'm like, you need to be killed.
Hey.
But you... So did you like Joker 1? Let's go back to the beginning. Joker number 1.
So I did not see Joker 1 until 3 days ago.
Good for you.
Yeah. I remember that was like the year that I really got into the Oscars and like prestige film.
The year of the Joker.
The year of the Joker.
Right.
The Joker.
Just called Joker, right?
Yeah. There's always a Joker.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I don't need to watch this one, actually. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Because I
and
remember...
it was the one that won?
I know. I didn't watch it. And obviously, like, I haven't seen as much Scorsese as you.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that, like, this was heavily inspired by the King of Comedy and Taxi Driver. So I put myself to work and I watched the King of Comedy,
mm-hmm.
which I loved.
It's an incredible film.
If somebody had told me that Sandra Bernhard was singing Come Rain or Come Shine in that movie, I would have watched it years ago.
Oh,
love that crazy lass.
Mm-hmm.
So then I watched Joker and like I had expected it to be like dog shit. I was like,
oh really?
This is gonna like just from all that I've heard throughout the years, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be a slog. I'm gonna hate this. I didn't like it, but it wasn't awful. I was like, oh, this is like a serviceable film. You can put the Scorsese pants on, but you'll never be him.
The wig, yeah. It's like the Batman. How they were like, we're going to put the David Fincher wig on.
Yeah, exactly. But the Batman was kind of good.
Well,
to some.
Not in my world.
Okay.
Not in the world that I'm living in.
Okay.
Yeah, Joker is like, it's fine. I think because it does borrow so heavily from like the King of Comedy narrative wise, it at least has like an arc, and superhero movie wise, it is at least something a little different.
Yeah.
For all that is wrong with that movie. I mean, I saw it in cinemas when it came out alone at the Forest Hill Chase.
Wow, that's a scene.
Yeah, it was like middle of the day, and there was like one other guy in the cinema.
And you'd been rejected by all the girls that you'd asked to go on a date, so you went and saw Joker alone.
Well, it's like two men alone in a cinema watching Joker. It's like, let's both promise not to do a shooting, you know? Like, you have to make a
Maybe
promise.
he could have been the love of your life.
I doubt it. You have to swear to each other not to shoot up the cinema if you're both watching Joker alone. And we did. We held that promise.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was fine. You know, great to see Robert De Niro in a film.
Literally. Robert De Niro, I've watched 3 of his films this week.
Yeah, it's De Niro summer. Exactly. Honestly, we had Brat. What season was it? Winter.
Brat Winter. And De Niro or Spring.
De Niro Spring.
De Niro Spring is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Back in a big way. Yeah, but I think people got very crazy at the time because they were like, this movie's going to be a rallying cry for incels across the world, because the film is kind of, I mean, the Joker is like an incel basically in the film, and his arc is kind of him in a way taking power back from a society that has like disenfranchised him or like forgotten about him.
But I also kind of felt like it didn't really have like that much of an arc. You just kind of like went a little crazy.
Yeah.
And then it like builds to this like huge, but not even huge, like showdown where he like obviously shoots Robert De Niro on TV.
Yes.
And I was just kind of like,
what happens at the very end?
He gets sent to Arkham.
They capture him.
He's like, let me tell you the story.
I don't remember.
And I think he might kill someone. I don't know.
He kills someone.
I don't know. I watched it 2 days ago.
Yeah, no, you don't remember.
Literally.
But, you know, at least it is about...
something. It's like, even though it's bad, it's still attempting to like say something and like...
I think, I'm talking in terms of like the discourse around the film. I think the film is more about like what happens when someone who is, you know, mentally ill, or someone who's on the cusp of doing something bad or like becoming, you know, the Joker. When they're, you know, cast aside by society. That's kind of what can happen, which I think is the intention of the film. But then when it came out, everyone was like, oh, it's about how, you know, he's an incel and he, you know, it's kind of like glamorizing this character, which I don't think the film meant to do that. But, you know, if it's ambiguous, maybe it's, you know, the film hasn't been as clear as it could have been.
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
I don't really care about all of that discourse.
That's the thing. It's been talked about, and I just ultimately think that the film was quite shallow and like it didn't act like it was trying to say something, but like it actually didn't, and it just felt almost reductive. And I was like, okay. I
mean, I think it is just like, there's nothing that Joker does that the King of Comedy doesn't do better. And with like the King of Comedy it has subtlety, and it takes its time to like reveal to you a lot of things about the protagonist, and by the time it does in the end, you're like, oh wow.
Yeah,
but with
exactly.
Joker, it's like, just, you know,
it's so like, it's unsubtle. It's like, he is this like sad man, and like, whereas the King of Comedy, like, despite it dealing with like, it's not, I wouldn't say like heavy subject matter, it's funny, it's quick, it's very smart, whereas this is just like a slog of a film that's like, let's like see this like sad man like suffer, and like, man, like this is sad, and it was just like, oh my god, we gotta.
Yeah, have you seen the Hangover movies?
I have.
I've
seen the Hangover une, and I may have seen the Hangover deux,
but not trois.
No,
there's 3, right?
I think I gave up at trois.
Right.
Yeah.
I never saw them. Maybe I'll have to watch.
They're raucous, I'm sure. I definitely watched them with my brother and cousin, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
The boys.
Oh,
not your gay cousin.
No, not my gay cousin. Oh, maybe my gay cousin.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe they were invited.
Cooper, if you're listening, sound off.
If you're listening. So now we get to Joker, Folie, Deux. Also,
affectionately.
Well, no, worth mentioning that the first Joker made what, like $1 billion or something?
It was like the most successful R-rated movie until your favorite, Wolverine vs. Deadpool.
It's just called Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, whatever the fuck.
See,
your favorite.
You think of Godzilla vs. Kong.
You're maybe. Like coming to the defense of Wolverine and Deadpool.
Who said that?
You.
I watched that.
Actually, it's called Deadpool vs. Wolverine. Yeah.
I was off sick this week, so I was like, you know, when you're just out of it on cold and flu medication, that's when it is the time to watch Deadpool and Wolverine.
Of course.
I mean, let me be clear, it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
You see, they're trying to get Hugh and Ryan to host the Oscars.
I'll kill myself.
We'll get on the Oscars and we'll do a fucking Joker. Yeah. Let me tell you. Why aren't we hosting the Oscars?
I don't want to host the Oscars.
I do.
Okay. Yeah, the first Joker went fucking nuts at the box office, and it was relatively low budget, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
In terms of superhero, you know, the way superhero movies go.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know if you call it whatever it is, comic book bullshit. Fuck, I don't know.
I've had enough. Enough is enough.
But yeah, Folie à Deux.
I remember where I was when Lady Gaga was announced in this movie.
In Fad.
Like, in Fad. Joker Fad, which is what this film is.
Yeah.
And it shook me to my core. And I said,
did it?
I was like, no, I don't want to do this.
Did it?
I can't be doing this. This was after.
I think it's a natural fit. I think it always made sense.
I mean, it makes sense, but I didn't want to do it. You know what I mean?
Well, okay, this film, it's
bad.
Is a musical, sort of, kind of.
Well, it's actually more of just like a movie where like they sing, and it's not a musical because it's like not in the musical sensibility, you know.
Well, that much
it's a
is
film
clear.
with music, you know.
It's about our friend Arthur Fleck from the first film,
the titular Joker.
Fleck, and he's in Arkham Asylum, and he has an upcoming trial for killing those people in the first movie. Yeah. And so the film, the beginning is just him miserable in the asylum, and then he meets Harley Quinn.
Well, her name is Lee. And she I don't think they just kind of see each other, and she's like...
She does the classic finger gun to the head. I thought in the comics or whatever, I thought she like worked there, and then
well, they actually disregarded a lot of her like
her lore
to like make it.
My main issue with this is the law. It didn't follow the law.
The law. Considering it was a bloody courtroom drama, you'd expect them to follow the law. Am I right?
Nice.
Well, it is kind of alluded to that she's like they like, it's revealed at some point that she has like a psychology degree, and she's like,
Did they say that?
yeah, was that when you were asleep?
I was like, the
Catherine
whole
Keener was
movie.
like, she's lying to you.
Okay, connection. Catherine Keener, who played Harper Lee in, I'm blanking on the name of the movie. Capote. And then, you know, character called Lee in this movie. Yeah. Is it in the same cinematic universe? Is my question. Is Capote in the same cinematic universe as what's this called?
Joker, Folie, Deux.
I've got a theory.
Goodness.
I was shocked that you didn't gasp when Catherine Keener came on screen. It's something that you would do.
I did internally. I was
yeah.
like, what the fuck did they get her here for?
I was on her Wikipedia page, and it says something like Catherine Keener is known for playing like depressed yet like optimistic women or something like that. It's like it has a weird description of her, but yeah, she's getting the Joker / Arthur Fleck ready for his trial. And yeah, I mean, what happens in the lead up? Like
they're like watching an old Hollywood movie.
Oh yeah,
they're like having a movie night at the prison.
It's a romance, sort of.
And then she's like, "Let's leave.
Let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here." And then she sets the piano on fire.
You can do anything.
You're Joker.
I want to see the real you.
They manage to escape the prison, and then
wait, no, they don't.
Well, they're like it. They like run away while everyone like they're trying to escape the prison.
Oh, it's an asylum.
Same thing.
Well, there's the lead up. There's that blah blah blah.
And then they sing "If They Could See Me Now" when they're like running out in the rain and.
Oh yeah.
And then
yeah.
Climbing
on
out.
the fence.
It's kind of just like, all right.
Well, yeah. No. Well, let's just give the girls a brief overview.
Yeah. Anyway,
and then,
they try to escape, and then she's like. They're separating us. I have to leave. They're checking me out because you're a bad influence on me. And then she leaves, and then the trial starts, and then Rob Industries there as
Robert Industry,
my man
Harvey Dent.
Shout out to the person who's sitting next to me who I did not interact with the whole movie. And then when Harry Lautley's credit came up, we both like cheered at the same time.
The industry heads were out
at the 1570 IMAX screening.
Everyone was just there to see Robert Industry.
Yeah, that's my man.
On the big screen. And so was Eric. Eric Industry was in the movie.
And Robert Industry.
They had a scene together.
Literally.
Industry is running the culture right now.
Literally. Industry.
Yeah. Then it becomes like a courtroom drama for quite a big chunk of it. Okay. And then... So this is a spoiler. We haven't mentioned that we're talking spoilers.
And then the courtroom blows up and he runs away and then he gets put back to jail and then he gets killed.
Yes.
And thank God.
Yeah. So the musical elements are new in this film.
They're very bad.
It's an interesting direction to take things for a sequel to a movie that was so big. Well, yeah, we'll get to what this movie's saying, but I felt like the musical elements didn't really blend. They didn't really make enough of a choice with them because they exist in Arthur's imagination, but the sequences aren't imaginative, really.
Yeah.
It's just kind of... There's a
handful of like... It's trying to do like the Chicago thing where it's like all of the musical numbers are in the people's minds and it's like this... But then some of them is like... When he's singing like Bewitched, Bothered, Bewildered, he's like just singing it in front of the TV. Is this the way?
Oh, yeah.
Whereas like then they've got these big production numbers, quote, where it's like, what was the one that they were singing? Anyway, it doesn't matter. But like there's like one or two big production numbers that feel really out of place because if you're gonna make a musical, you got to commit to making a musical. And like that's the thing. It felt so non-committal that it was like, oh, we don't want to alienate people too much, so we're only going to have these two big tentpole numbers, and everything else is going to be like real, but not real because it's like in his mind because they're singing. And then like kind of at the end, he's like talking to Harley, and he's like, "We have to stop singing." So it's like it's just kind of like muddled. And I'm like, I'm sick of these fucking movie musicals across the board, mind you, that are not committed to being a musical. Like, why are you embarrassed by it? If you're gonna commit to this, and especially this, because it seems like Todd Phillips is like has some sort of reverence for like these old Hollywood movie musicals that he's trying to emulate. But like, why not go full? Like, you've got all this fucking money to do whatever you want. You've got Lady Gaga. Why are you not like committing to being a musical?
I kind of felt that it wasn't so much not committing. I thought it just perhaps Todd lacks the imagination or filmmaking ability to shoot these scenes in a way that is interesting.
That's true.
Or that is fun.
Yeah.
Even.
And like that's the thing, the two like big production numbers where like I think it was the one where she's in the orange suit and she goes to shoot him.
Yeah.
And then the other one where he's like doing the tap dance. I was like, that was the thing. I was like, the musical numbers were so boring and ugly to look at. I was like, the constant like lens flare that made everything like super like bright. It was like, it is so hard to direct a musical well. And like this guy just clearly didn't have it.
This guy. This Joker.
Todd Phillips, you're a hack. Know that.
Well, we knew that.
Know that. But God, I was just like...
I mean, I kind of think it is a big... I admire the kind of big swing of taking this approach. I just think they didn't flesh out what this could have been enough. So, because I think the idea of like this, the sequel to Joker being this like musical type thing is a pretty crazy idea considering the fan base.
But I also think it's kind of like not like planted in the first movie, but like there is these moments of like musicality that he has, like, you know, the famous like when he's like doing his little dance and stuff like that. And like they do, I think it's not a completely out of field swing for this because it's so like he's a performer, he's like that's his thing, and like, you know, the Joker's like in his mind and like it's this like coming out of this character, so like I don't think it's like an insane choice per se.
Well, you have to remember it's a comic book movie in the end, and you know what the fans are like.
What you're like.
I've read a few Batman comics actually back in the day. I was a fan.
Oh. Well, as a comic book fan, what
the
did you
incel. It's, I mean, yeah, I think what is interesting about this film is that it is such a, kind of, it's looking at like what the first movie did in the culture and kind of being like, actually fuck these incel fans who kind of latched onto this film. It's interesting that I think it's deliberately trying to alienate a portion of the audience from the first film. And I guess the musical elements are part of that. And you know, obviously you can still make a movie that's fun while still doing that. One of my aunts, Chloe, actually wrote a great Letterboxd review comparing this film to Matrix Resurrections, which does a similar thing in that the you know, Matrix Resurrection, it is a similar thing in that, you know, they were kind of, who directed that, Lana or Lily? I always forget. I think it was Lana.
I think it was Lana.
Okay, great.
Maybe.
We'll say Lana. One of the Wachowskis.
Miss Wachowski.
Yes, Ms. Wachowski. Kind of, you know, the Matrix, the whole red pill thing and all of that became so like incel-y, and it became co-opted by like the alt-right and that kind of thing. And then she made Matrix Resurrections, and, you know, in the film, they're kind of like, fuck that side of things. And actually, I'm going to reclaim this piece of work that I made for myself. Like, I'm gonna take that back from these cunts. But what the Matrix Resurrection has that Joker doesn't have is that film is so enamored with the world that they created and the love story between like Neo and Trinity, and there's like so much sincerity and love in that movie and fun even, and the desire to like do something different. Whereas Joker lacks that really. And I really think obviously you can make a film that's entertaining that is also like a fuck you to a section of the audience that you don't want to have engaged with your film. Yeah, you can do those two things, but this film
didn't do either.
Yeah.
It was so like, I think in trying to like create this film that alienates this portion, it ultimately ended up alienating everyone.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, we did see it the day after it came out, so there was like a sea of gay men in our audience.
Yes.
And then it was like, I don't think any of them liked it. It's like...
You took a poll.
I was like, hello. I was like, you there in the Lady Gaga t-shirt.
What did you think?
What did you think?
I mean, this film is getting across the board 1.5 star ratings on Letterboxd from every gay guy.
Exactly. But it's just like... And it's so interesting because like... I never really had high hopes for this. I will say like when the trailer came out, I was like, oh, this could be interesting. And that's the thing. I was like, as much as I like was laughing my head off, I was itch-bowling the whole way through, but I wasn't laughing with the film. I was laughing at it. And I think that's the problem. Like, it wasn't interesting. And you know, like, I checked my watch at one... I checked my wristwatch. I checked my phone at one point just to be like, oh, where are we at? And I was like, it's only been an hour of this 2.5 hour movie. I'm going to fucking kill myself.
Yeah. I feel like I laughed at one bit.
There was one bit where I looked... Oh, yeah, where it was like, he's got all these made-up mental illnesses. And I looked right at you.
No, there was one good bit in the movie. The guy from the first film... the guy that he doesn't kill when he's killing all those people, he testifies, and when Joker gets up to do his questioning, he does a whole bit about how his last name is Puddles.
Yeah, it's like, is your last name really Puddles? Also, we have to talk...
That was really funny. I've got to give the movie credit for that. When
he's in his Joker geesh, he's so queenie.
Oh, yeah.
He's like...
I mean, he's...
It's kind of fag-coded.
My major problem with this film is that it didn't really... explore the art of stand-up comedy that much, which the first film really did.
Yeah, I think this was exploring the art of law.
Yes,
in the courtroom.
The first film is very special in that I don't think there's many films out there that depict like bombing on stage.
Did you feel
with stand-up comedy? Honestly, yeah, because you know it's a fact of life. Everyone bombs sometimes. I obviously don't let it turn me into the Joker, but
getting close.
Not yet. But yeah, it's like that and Baby Reindeer are the two things that I've seen that accurately depict what it's like to bomb in comedy. So I was sad that I didn't see that in this. Well, let's talk about the courtroom drama of it all, because you know when I heard this was a courtroom drama, I thought, oh my goodness, you know,
I love the courtroom
verdict drama. You know, a few good men.
Search Party season 3.
Oh, don't talk about that.
Did you finish Search Party?
No.
Oh, fabulous show.
Not a good show.
You're an idiot.
It's nothing like The Verdict. My favorite film.
It's my cousin Vinny, my cousin Harley.
Yes. And this just does not have the stuff to be a good courtroom drama.
I do not give a fuck. Aside from when Sexy Rob from Industry was on my big IMAX screen and his big fucking ears,
playing Harvey Two-Face,
pillowy lips, I was like,
Harvey,
"Hi, Rob."
Will he play Harvey Two-Face in another?
Well, that's the thing. I'm like,
more like Harvey Twink-Face.
Ha ha.
Am I right?
Bisexual Harvey Two-Face.
Oh. Wait, that makes sense because you know one side likes men, one side likes women.
Exactly.
That's what bisexuals should start dressing like Harvey Two-Face. So we know they're always talking about they're not visible.
Well, you can be real visible
if you dress like Harvey Two-Face. I'll never mistake you as a non-bisexual. My advice
to the bisexual community:
if you're listening,
bisexuals. Forget your troubles, come on, get happy.
And start dressing like Harvey Two-Face.
Harvey Two-Face. Is that his name?
Harvey Dent, yeah. But then when he becomes the
Two-Face.
Two-Face, yeah. The courtroom stuff, I feel like it lacks stakes, really, because...
It's like, yeah, he's gonna get... Like, he's not gonna be free. He's not gonna be found not guilty.
Well, isn't the trial... Isn't it something like they're deciding if he was insane?
Yeah.
Isn't that what it is?
That's the big thing. It's like...
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, no, he's not. And then he, like, comes in and he's like, I'm the Joker.
Yes.
And then at the end, he, like, gets a conscience.
Yeah.
And
Well, the courtroom stuff, it's kind of about him being like, maybe I'm not the Joker. Like, he is saying how, well, there's like this pressure of this symbol that he's become, and he can't quite live up to that, which is, you know, I found that a little interesting. And actually there's one okay scene in the courtroom where he sings the Kath and Kim song, which the song
we need to talk about this.
It's too on the nose for him to be literally being like, the Joker is me. I'm like, come on now.
There's always a Joker.
But you know, at least there's some flair in that scene.
That was one of the few good sequences. I think it was kind of like, you know, it was giving what's that song from Chicago? Razzle Dazzle. Have you seen Chicago?
I have.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Give them the old
I just remember Mr. Cellophane.
Well, of course you would. Cellophane.
Yes.
Mr.
Wonderful.
Cellophane.
Nice. But yeah, then I guess during the courtroom stuff, he becomes unable to like be the Joker anymore. And then Harley turns away from him because she's only interested in him as this symbol, as the Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a good movie somewhere here if they had done things right.
And not to be a gay guy, but like they cut so much, and it shows. Like you can tell they cut so much of Lady Gaga out of this, and she is like kind of the best part of the film, I think.
Yeah.
Like she's
yeah, I guess.
She's giving a decent enough performance, and I think she knows what film she's in, and their relationship felt so rushed that like there was just like this lack of building, and it was just kind of like
well, it's her character arc that I felt was not really there, because her journey is like I'm coming to the hospital to meet the Joker, becomes the Harlequin. Yeah. She becomes the Harlequin. But it kind of happens really quickly, and then, you know, all of a sudden she's dressed in like a clown. And it's kind of like, okay. Yeah, like, she's kind of like really care put to the side for it's like, not compelling on screen because it happens so, you know, the first, I guess she kind of goes through that thing that he goes through in the first movie, but you don't see it. Yeah. So it's like, it's not interesting. And I think it really could have been, I think her like portraying that transformation and the kind of descent into madness or whatever, I think that could have been really fun. Exactly. To release see. The Gaga cut. Yes. It's what we want. Also, again, with the singing, I felt like it was so poorly like incorporated at points. Like, the singing off key. like it was kind of embarrassing to watch. Like, it wasn't. It just when she sings, does she sing Close to You in the... Yeah, I think when they're like talking through the... Yeah. And I'm like, get up, you know, do something. And also, you know, they shifted around that line from the trailer. It's not in that scene. She's like, I want to see the real you. Yeah, literally. I thought for a minute they would cut that iconic moment. I mean, never forget when I was sitting in the IMAX and they played that trailer and the guy next to me like nudges his girlfriend when that shot comes on and he's like, this is just brilliant. That's like I forgot intertwined with that. God. I mean, the fucking audience in that IMAX, there was that, and then there was that kid that after that Wonka trailer played, they said that looks R-worded. What movie were we seeing? I don't know. Oh, God, I don't remember this. Yeah, people, it's a tough crowd in there. It's the Wild West at the IMAX. Fucking hell. I mean, the guy next to me in Joker, like, every time they're playing a song, he's like tapping his foot and like...
My name is James.
I'm like, stop.
You can address me. I was dancing in the aisles.
They need a sing-along session of Joker, like for Mamma Mia.
For me.
Yeah.
I'll be the only one there.
That's live.
That's live.
I have been streaming.
Amazing. Let's talk about the best part of the film, which is Lady Gaga.
The companion album.
6.5. Harlequin.
Let's talk about the ending, actually.
Oh, true.
He gets stabbed
He gets stabbed by a twink.
And why is no one talking about that? He's kind of hot, the guy that kills him. Why is no one talking about that?
You need to be shot.
Well,
we need it. And then, like,
actually,
before he goes back to jail, there's like this moment on the stairs where she's gone full Harley Quinn. And he's like, do you love me?
I don't even remember this.
And she's like,
oh, on the famous Joker stairs.
I was going to go there when I went to New York, but it was so far uptown.
Where is it?
It's like up the top of like Washington Heights, I think.
Right.
Like up in like the 200s. I was like,
it's a big set of stairs, certainly.
I'd
like to roll down them. Yeah.
That's another thing. Every time they threw him, like,
Joaquin?
they fucking smashed him against, like, walls and shit. And every time I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Yuck.
See, that's again, you're bipping and bobbing in the audience. Yeah, Joaquin is great at slamming into a wall. I'll give him that.
Fucking hell.
We also need to talk about the fact that the Joker has his own twink in the asylum.
That'd be you.
Literally, he's like, can you give me a kiss? I've never been kissed. and then he kisses him.
Would you kiss Joaquin?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I guess. But he kisses this twink, and then literally this mentally ill twink follows him around in the asylum for the whole story.
Sounds like somebody I know.
What? Which one am I? Following around mentally ill twinks. We've all been there.
I don't know if I think you could be the mentally ill twink.
What?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
That was frighteningly realistic.
You were like,
everyone needs
you really are the Joker.
Everyone needs a mentally ill twink by their side.
The Joker is me. Sing it, Sam.
It's so, I mean, if I got sent to Arkham Asylum, first thing I'm doing,
having a Folie do.
Finding a twink. Which one of you is going to be my crazy twink in here?
I'm sure you don't have to go to Arkham Asylum.
Who wants a kiss? I mean, Brunswick East is an Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, you'd be walking around the streets of Brunswick East with like a pot, like, who's gonna be my twink? Pot noise spoon, ding, ding, ding.
My nutcase twink. But the twink had bad teeth. I think I'm hoping it was prosthetic. But that was odd, right? Why did he have a twink?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
And also, I'm like, Joaquin cancelled a whole Todd Haynes movie because he wouldn't suck cock. He wouldn't suck cock on screen, but he's kissing this twink in this movie. What's that about?
Literally,
huh? Joaquin, you've got some explaining to do.
Will be dealt with.
That was my favorite part of the film, that he had a twink in the asylum. But then he gets killed by a twink. Yeah. I mean, I've been the archer, I've been the prey.
You're gonna get killed by a twink one day.
Oh, no doubt.
You're gonna be like Megalopolis. You're like, my boner. Psych!
It's a bow and arrow. I mean, of course I'm gonna be killed by a twink. They've been trying to do it for years even. So it's a miracle that I'm still sitting here.
I've got a gun. Like Harley Quinn in the Twisted Mind.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Joker Fad is bad.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Maybe there'll be a spin-off.
Joker Thrad.
Teresa,
dude.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
It's not getting through the gate.
A Joker Fat. Folie à toi.
Fat. Joker Fat. That's good.
We've got Joker Fad and Joker Fat.
Let's keep this cinematic universe going. Yeah. I mean...
Joker Folie à deux. We need you to distract Kang.
Yeah, ultimately, I think it's a film with a scrap of an interesting idea, but the execution just wasn't quite there. I think they lack the creativity and imagination to...
You need if you're going to do a musical, you need a gay guy. Sorry.
Yeah, like Todd Haynes.
Todd Haynes is Joker Fad. Now that I would watch. That would be so kind.
Are there any gay guy directors that do musicals these days?
Me. No, is Rob Marshall gay? He's doing Kiss of the Spider-Woman with J-Lo.
What are you talking about?
It's a musical that's coming. Secure your week, sis.
the
Kiss of the Spider-Woman is coming.
It wasn't Madam Web that already come out? With J-Lo. J-Lo should have directed this. I mean, This Is Me Now was better than Joker Fad.
No.
I mean, let me say, like, in terms of the big swing movies that have come out this year, it's like Megalopolis, Joker Fad,
This Is Me Now.
This Is Me Now, and This Is Me Now is taking it.
Yeah,
This Is Me
outsold with
Now
these.
is taking it. Like, it was better than all of these.
And you know what This Is Me Now did? Yeah, it knew that it did not need to be longer than 60 minutes.
It didn't overstay its welcome. It had Ben Affleck in it, you know?
Yeah. It had a heart factory. It had Jane Fonda.
Yes. And Kim Petras. Oh,
You
my
know?
girls, look.
Anyway.
Maybe Kim Petras should have been in this.
Ugh.
She could have been in the asylum.
Exactly. Clown. She's a clown.
She's a clown.
Do we want to
They
talk?
should have had Smile on the soundtrack. Well, they did in a way, but that was shady.
Smile.
This movie was Katy Perry shade.
They should have had Lily Allen smile.
Yes, and then transition into Katy Smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, this whole movie, Katy Perry shade.
Literally.
You'll be gotten for that, Lady Gaga.
Hey.
Well, people were pointing out how 143 and Joker Fad are both flopping at the same time.
Exactly.
So, but
A lot of-
Lady Gaga will come back. I feel like actually she comes out of this pretty unscathed.
I think, and that's the thing, the general consensus is that she was underused.
Yeah.
She was decent enough in it, and like she manages to come out unscathed. Will she be getting that supporting actress Oscar that she was hoping for? Probably not. She might not even be nominated. Did you see that tweet that's like Selena Gomez, Ariana, and Gaga are all like in contention for best supporting actress this year?
Oh.
But Selena Gomez is probably going to be the one to come through.
Yeah,
which is-
you never would have thought.
I'm a Selenator at heart, unfortunately.
Oh, I like a few of her tunes. Has she got an album coming out? Or did those two singles were they just singles?
They were just singles soon.
Singles soon. What was the other one? Single
Wait
soon.
till you get my lover.
Oh,
Wait
yeah.
till- wait till-
Both of those songs look so good.
Selena Gomez is great. And I don't give a fuck.
Well, yes.
As a fellow annoying bitch, I relate to her.
She should have been in this.
Sad.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, wait. Let's talk about
She could be Poison Ivy.
Brendan Gleeson.
Oh, yeah, your Irish
The
king.
whole audience cheered when Brendan Gleeson came
Literally.
on.
That was my
No,
Oscar
I
cheer
mean,
moment.
it was a weird casting choice, maybe.
That's the thing about this movie. I was like, Catherine Keener, Brendan Gleeson, Rob Industry,
Yeah.
Eric Industry. Why is anyone here?
Yeah.
You do it too for a
They should have
paycheck.
had a Robert De Niro cameo, was my one complaint.
Well, they had a photo, didn't they?
Yeah, in the Bugs Bunny section. It did not need to start with the Looney Tunes.
That's the
thing.
thing. It opened with like this animated Looney Tunes
Well, you loved
art
that,
sequence that was so on the nose. I was like, wow.
You pulled up your letterbox. You said, "How can I log this?" Anyway, Joker Fad not getting through the gate.
But you know what is probably getting through the gate?
What?
Lady Gaga Harlequin.
Oh yeah, I've been streaming a little. I like her cover of Close to You. I think that's quite beautiful.
I don't like that one as much.
What?
I like because I love the
You like the crap?
I like the Carpenters. I like the slower like the original. I don't like this like jazzy upbeat version. But she sounds so. Did you see that tweet that was like she had to release this to show everyone that she could still sing?
Didn't I say that?
I think
I
everyone.
said that after the film.
Yeah.
You're just talking about something I said on the escalator. That wasn't a tweet, sweetie. That was real life. Rosemary's Baby.
What?
You know, she's like, this isn't a dream.
I haven't seen Rosemary's Baby.
Oh my God. What? What?
We're gonna build a mountain.
Oh my God. That's the other thing I wanted to mention. There's a scene in this where, because Gaga keeps saying like, we're going to build a mountain. We're going to build a mountain. And then there's a scene where they're in the courthouse and she's talking to the media and she says to them, we're going to build a mountain. And then a reporter off screen says, a what? And it's like, she's never heard of a mountain.
No, and then she's like,
I'm
out of
like,
a
this woman's, a what? A mountain? What the hell is that? If you went through journalism school and you didn't learn what a mountain was, come on now.
Shouldn't have gone
That
to
was-
a different school.
That was kind of the funniest part of the film for me.
Yeah.
A mountain. A what?
A what?
Yeah. What? Do we have anything else to talk about? What are we talking about? Are we done? We have to end this episode.
Yeah.
Right now.
If they could see me now, that little gang
No,
of mine.
no.